course, today, May the 4th be with you. I want to share with you some thoughts as far as being president this year. It's common for a president to say that, this year, it seemed like only yesterday that I became president, but that definitely has not been the case. As you know, 2020 has been a unique year, a unique leap year, actually. February had 29 days, March had 300 days, and April had 5 years, and so on. So it's been a daunting and certainly fulfilling to be your president this year. There have now been 2 pandemics in the history of Montgomery County Medical Society since our society was founded in 1903. The personal toll of both pandemics on our community has been considerable. There have been almost 70,000 cases of COVID-19 confirmed in Montgomery County. In 1918, there were 224 Montgomery County residents who died of what we knew back then as the Spanish flu, or called the Spanish flu. And in 2021, there have been almost 8 times that amount, 1,522 deaths so far due to COVID in our county patients, or in our county alone. So these were our patients, our colleagues, other health professionals. Before we go forward this evening, I would like to ask for a moment of silence to recognize those in our community who have passed, that they will be forever remembered. Thank you. So as you know, the professional challenges and toll on our practices has also been great. Tonight, we celebrate moving forward. We celebrate how we came together as a profession to support each other to get through this very difficult time. We celebrate our medical society and how we responded to help all of us not only survive the pandemic, but to thrive on the other side. Because really, it's okay, falling off the horse, but it's what you do afterwards is key. And we hope to be able to touch on this a little bit today. So before we begin though, before we move forward, I want to hear from several special guests with us tonight. We'll hear first from Shelly Brous, the CEO of Unity Insurance now, who wishes to extend her appreciation and congratulations to our incoming president. Shelly?
Yeah, thank you. Well, first, I'd like to say congrats to you, Dr. Pham. You had quite a challenging year to serve as a president, so hats off to you. And I do want to congratulate Dr. Ali. Best wishes to you as incoming president. This is a great group to work with, as you all know. We do appreciate the partnership we have with Montgomery County. It's a great team to work with, and we truly enjoy the engagement that we have with your membership. Many of you have been loyal clients with Unity Insurance for many years, and we do thank you for your business. And for those who may be interested in talking to us about a broker change, it is a very simple process, and it requires just a simple signature. Policies don't need to change. Premiums will not be impacted unless, of course, you would like us to shop for different products for you. And we want you to know that as an insurance broker, we are here to offer peace of mind. We do all the legwork. We evaluate your current coverages. We discuss with you your goals and objectives for yourself, for your business, protection for your family, and your needs for the future. And we offer solutions that we feel would work for you. We would love to hear from you. I hope you all have a great program tonight and over the next week. And again, congrats to Dr. Pham and Dr. Ali. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Shelly. Actually, just one moment before you log off, I did want to give a quick plug and point of personal privilege here for Unity Insurance. As the current vice chair of the Centers for Advanced ENT Care, I was definitely a supporting vote for us to solidify and go under a unified broker. And we've realized some savings by doing so. So thank you, Shelly.
Thank you.
Ron, so thank you.
I'll send you $20 after this is over.
Next, we welcome MedChi CEO Gene Ransom. You'd like to share some comments about the recent legislative session, Gene?
Yep, I would, and I've got a couple slides if I can be allowed to share. And I really appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight. Montgomery County has been a wonderful partner with MedChi for over 100 years, and it really means a lot to us how closely we get to work with you guys, not just in Annapolis, but with everything we do. And I really appreciate that, that partnership that we have. I also want to commend the wonderful work that your staff does. Carissa, Marissa, Susan, the entire team does a great job. And thank you for all of you for being MedChi members. So quickly, just to give you a quick overview, obviously, session was challenging, and I'll send these slides to Susan so you don't have to worry about trying to read every last bit of it, but don't worry, they're very, very short. But session was very challenging, as everything was. It's very different not having doctors in the first aid room. It's very different not being down the hallways talking to people. Zoom committee meetings are just not quite the same. It's a lot easier for someone to turn their camera off and not pay attention. We did have some amazing successes this session. By far, the biggest success and most impressive success is the fact that we got 92 million new dollars in E&M codes for physicians. That is an increase of $92 million for evaluation and management codes. In prior years, we would be very happy if we got 4 million or 8 million. This is more money in increased payments to physicians for Medicaid than we have gotten in the last 5 years combined. So this was a major success for us. This is reoccurring revenue, and it's huge. It's for all specialties for E&M codes and was a massive success. So everybody who takes Medicaid is going to get enough extra money for their evaluation management where they can certainly pay their dues now. And this was really big, and it was a big win. There were a lot of other budget items that occurred, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention something very exciting. The state did create a $14 million fund for health enterprise zones to try to tackle diversity. And I would also say that there is a full multi-page report that you can get on the MedChi website under legislative archives, and we're happy to share that with you. You should have already gotten it from us. The second big issue that we won on this session was we were successful once again in stopping a bill that would have allowed podiatrists to call themselves physicians. In the past, we have had to kill bills that would allow naturopaths to call themselves physicians and optometrists to call themselves physicians. This one was very, very challenging because 36 other states and the federal government allow podiatrists to call themselves physicians. So we're going to be fighting this again next year. We did lose in the House, but fortunately we won in the Senate, and it was great that we were able to be successful. This obviously, while it really doesn't affect our bottom lines in any way, it really does affect who we are as physicians, and the term physician should have a meaning. Care First put in legislation that would have allowed downside risk to be forced upon physicians in value-based contracting. And while we're very excited about the idea of value-based contracting and been working closely with the state on really good programs like the Maryland Primary Care Program, and more recently the Episode Quality Improvement Program, which is about to be launched, and it's great news for some specialties. The Care First thing was just very risky, and we're really concerned about the bargaining power that Care First have because they control so much market. After opposition from us, the legislation was withdrawn, and we are now working collaboratively with Care First, the Maryland Hospital Association, and MedChi to try to reach a compromise that has checks and balances and protects physicians, so we can try to value-based contract possibly in the future, but in a way it does not put us at some kind of incredible amount of risk. The other major success we had this session, just highlighting the big issues, and again, there were a lot of other really important things that we worked on and passed that I'm not spending enough time on, like disparities and other public health measures, but I tried to pick the big ones that affected everybody, is a telehealth bill. There were some people who were suggesting that we should have telehealth should just be put off until after the emergency and deal with it next year. MedChi fought hard with a lot of other partners in a large coalition, and we were successful in getting telehealth legislation passed that pays for audio calls and continues payment for telehealth service for the next 2 years. Then the legislation sunsets and there's going to be a study, and we're going to have another fight. We also were successful in killing legislation that was telehealth legislation that would have let anybody practice in the state of Maryland if they had a license in another state. This had the potential to be really risky because, for example, in Maryland, we don't let a naturopath practice without a physician collaborator. In another state that has a more liberal law, like Oregon, for example, that allows naturopaths to have a much greater scope, they would then suddenly be allowed to telehealth call in and do things that could be very dangerous to Maryland patients. So killing that was really important. the telehealth area was huge for Maryland physicians and a major win. Again, we had a lot more stuff going on, but I want to let you get to your CME and your other stuff. But I want to close by saying, Dr. Pham, thank you for a great year. You were an excellent president of Montgomery County, and we love working with you. And congratulations, Dr. Ali. We're really looking forward to working with you very closely as well. But I'm very confident in saying that I know that the great relationship that we have with Montgomery County will continue. Our president right now happens to be from your fair county, and Dr. O'Connor, who's on our board, does a great job representing you, as well as some of the other reps who provide leadership in MedChi. And I really appreciate the close working relationship that we have with your wonderful component society. And I didn't mention Alex when I was talking about the staff, and she's wonderful too. So thank you so much for having me. I didn't want to miss you, Alex. Anyway, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you,
I'm happy to
Gene.
answer any questions.
Thanks, Gene. I'm going to just take a moment and give 20 seconds to Dr. Stephen Rockhour.
Well, thank you very much. And I want to thank Dr. Pham and Dr. Ali for doing all this. And of course, Gene for being so good in Annapolis. And I want to put in a plug for the Maryland Medical Political Action Committee, which is where we get all the opportunity to do all the things we do in Annapolis. So when this meeting is over and you guys are fully satiated, you're going to get on your computer and go to medicalpac.org and give some money. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was great. And now I'd like to welcome Dr. Shannon Pryor, one of Montgomery County Medical Society's own, actually one of our past presidents, who's serving now as president of MedChi. Dr. Pryor, would you like to share some thoughts?
Thank you so much. I appreciate being here, and it's wonderful to see the baton being passed from Dr. Pham to Dr. Ali. Congratulations, Dr. Pham, on doing such a wonderful job. And although she will have big shoes to fill, I know that Dr. Ali will be a fabulous president and will continue the tradition of excellent leadership from Montgomery County Medical Society. We really appreciate everything that Montgomery County Medical Society has done in terms of working together with MedChi, especially during the COVID pandemic. Some of the assistance that has been provided on a hyper-local level, some of the educational webinars in terms of telehealth and dealing with the crisis has been absolutely invaluable. And so we absolutely appreciate MCMS as a partner in all of the advocacy work that both MedChi and MCMS do for our members and for our patients. So that is all I really have to say. Happy to answer any questions.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Pryor. And with that, with tonight's passing of the gavel, it's important to recognize our past as we look to our future. This is our 118th installation of officers, and we're doing it via Zoom. We've been serving the physicians and patients of Montgomery County now for 118 years. There was no Zoom back then. Many leaders and members are woven into the history of all our organization, including many past presidents who are with us tonight on our Zoom call. I don't think my screen's big enough to kind of scroll through to say hello, to all you, but we're scrolling through here. So thank you to your past presidents. You see the names there, and certainly I'd like to share with you a couple of thoughts of my own. I was installed as your president less than 2 months into the pandemic. As you know, March 11th, 2020, there's a documentary that was the day that sports stood still. But, for healthcare and the central infrastructure, I don't think we've been able to stand still. Certainly little did I know that during that time, I would lose my practice partner, homeschool my 3 children from all different high school to middle school and elementary. I didn't plan it out that well. Close my practice, adopt telemedicine, relocate my practice, and then reopen my practice. Certainly that probably sounds like a country western song that's not any different to what any of y'all had this year as well. The challenges of COVID have required us all to make changes in our personal and our professional lives to adapt, innovate, grow, and have faith that together we are coming through the pandemic stronger and more resilient than we were before March 11th, 2020. Certainly, the Medical Society has also adapted, innovated, and grew to help all of us to survive these last 14 months. Our Medical Society staff pivoted to respond to our needs. I call our staff the Fantastic Four, and I think it's sticking now. They certainly truly work together like a machine. They were my superheroes, even though they too were working from home, reliant on regular Zoom meetings. They did the work of 10 to 20 people, and they were invaluable. We achieved a lot this year, and some of the accomplishments I wanted to mention tonight were a listing of some things. So we will send out a complete listing to the membership via the email. But here's a couple. We started establishing ongoing dialogue with Dr. Gales and the Montgomery County Health Department, arranging updates from Dr. Gales for the membership and the board. We published COVID-19 resource section of the website that becomes a central repository for COVID-19 updates throughout the pandemic. And this page has actually been since revised 532 times since its launch. The staff became specialists in COVID stimulus packages to help our physicians find resources to help keep us afloat. They advocated with the Montgomery County Council to secure funding for primary care practices. They even created a YouTube channel to host on-demand webinars on financial relief aid, telemedicine, remote patient monitoring, and more. They launched a COVID-19 practice reopening toolkit as lockdown restrictions eased. They released COVID-19 vaccine toolkit for physicians with clinical and logistical information. In fact, these toolkits have been invaluable resources and even referenced by medical societies even across the country. Just a couple more. What else? We aggressively engaged with the county and the Adventist healthcare system to secure vaccines for physicians and our staff. And then last but not least, planning this whole physician renewal week to help all of us be the best we can coming out of COVID. Again, certainly a few of the highlights of what your staff, Montgomery County Medical Society, was able to accomplish with leadership, input, and direction. Certainly none of these were small feats. They required vision, trying to stay one step ahead of our needs, anticipating rather than reacting, so that we really had the resources to help us through our journey. So our staff are truly our partners. They are just as committed to medicine and to our practices and to us as we are. So for myself as a president and the board, what did we do? We provided input, advice, counsel, participated in some media opportunities, meetings with county council members, hospital leadership, when we knew there were opportunities to help physicians and your practices when we needed PPE, stimulus resources, and vaccines. So, with that, I'd like to thank my executive board for your support and engagement at a time when your practice and family needed your attention. So I appreciate those extra hours. Thank you for your extraordinary effort. I'd like to thank MedChi, our corporate partners, and our many friends and colleagues who gave their time freely to educate our physicians and our staff to adapt and comply with the regulations. Most importantly, I thank our staff, Carissa Miller, Marissa Valeri, Alex Hawkins, and Susan D'Antoni. You really are the Fantastic Four, and I hope that sticks. I could not have done this without y'all. And on behalf of the executive board and membership, we owe you a debt of gratitude for your professionalism, your remarkable dedication to all of us. So please join me all for a round of applause for our staff. Heart emojis, thank you. Certainly, I want to acknowledge my own practice staff. Their ears are ringing now. Their efforts to change around my schedule, help me balance my responsibilities. Certainly, my husband and my children for supporting me in this role. They're my strength, my energy. I appreciate every part of everybody's role and contribution to this circle, everybody who had really lifted us all up. And we did it, we made it through. So thank you. So
Thank you, Annette.
Dr. Green.
Yes, Annette, I was going to try and butt in,
yeah.
but you're doing such a good job. I never want you to leave president. If
Yeah.
it wasn't for Irfana being president next, I would never want you to leave, but that's the saving grace. But as the immediate past president, it's my pleasure to present you with the past president's plaque in recognition of your leadership and service. It reads, Annette Pham, MD, FACS, for significant contributions to the medical community and our society as our pandemic president of the Montgomery County Medical Society 2020-2021. The job of being a pre-pandemic president, I can tell you, and as many on this on the Zoom call know, is big enough. However, the job as a pandemic president required extraordinary innovation, being forward-thinking, dedication, and leadership. And then I think we were very lucky to have you. I mean, I'm sorry you were virtual. We'll see you live soon enough, we all hope, but we're very lucky to have had you as a virtual president. We had the right physician leader at the right time. So thank you very much. Thank you for your commitment to the society and all of us. On behalf of your colleagues, I thank you. And now please join me in a round of applause in recognition of Dr. Pham's service to the society.
Yay.
Thank you. Actually, I want to say that Susan actually gave me the president's gavel. I love it. Thank you very much. It was definitely a unique year, and don't put me out to pasture just yet. I'll be just a moment's call away. And really, with that, it is now my sincere privilege to introduce your next president, Dr. Rafana Ali. Let me tell you a little bit about her. Dr. Ali received her undergraduate degree from Western Maryland College in Westminster, Maryland. She received a Bachelor of Arts in Biology and Chemistry and was Phi Beta Kappa and graduated magna cum laude. Dr. Ali attended University of Maryland for medical school and the University of Massachusetts Medical Center, where she did her residency in emergency medicine. Dr. Ali also served as an international emergency medicine fellow at Harvard's affiliated emergency medicine residency program with Brigham and Women's Hospital Institute for International Emergency Medicine, where she was a project coordinator for a Train the Trainers course in emergency medicine in Nairobi and Mombasa, Kenya, and also a consultant in Bangladesh. We are lucky to have Dr. Ali migrate to our area from Massachusetts in the early 2000s, serving on the staff of GW, Sibley, and Suburban. In 2009, she opened and served as medical director of Fast Track Urgent Care, which now has 2 locations. She joined the society in 2009, also recognizing the need to meet other medical colleagues and for the support of the society to run her practices. Dr. Ali became involved quickly in MCMS in the Women in Medicine Committee, and then as an officer, first serving as treasurer. In her practice, and together with me, Dr. Ali, as president-elect, has been at the center of the pandemic and is aware of the challenges continuing to face the society and our profession. I could not have asked for a more capable colleague to work alongside me this year. I know that she is up for the challenge, and she, together with the staff and her incoming board, will lead MCMS effectively in the coming year. So, Dr. Ali, it is indeed my pleasure and honor to administer the oath of office to you. So I'll have you repeat after me. I, Irfana Ali, MD, affirm that I shall, to the best of my ability, carry out the duties of President of the Montgomery County Medical Society.
I, Irfana Ali, MD, affirm that I shall, to the best of my ability, carry out the duties of President of the Montgomery County Medical Society.
And that I shall work to achieve the mission of the society.
And that I shall work to achieve the mission of the society.
To recognize the healthcare needs of the community.
To recognize the healthcare needs of the community.
To foster the delivery of appropriate, high quality, and effective healthcare.
To foster the delivery of appropriate, high quality, and effective healthcare,
to assist members of the society as called upon,
to assist members of the society as called upon,
and to represent the medical profession in an honorable manner.
and to represent the medical profession in an honorable manner.
So please join me in a round of applause for your new president of Montgomery County Medical Society.
Yay.
Bravo.
Yay. Now I can go on mute.
Thank you. Thank you. I welcome all of the Montgomery County Medical Society members tonight on Zoom. I'm honored and humbled to be serving as president for 2021-2022, and I thank Dr. Pham for installing me and for providing me with a smooth transition. I appreciate her leadership during this extraordinary time, and it's true, it's going to be very big shoes to fill. It's my turn now to install the 2021-2022 Executive Board of the Medical Society. I will introduce the Executive Committee, and when I call your name, could you please unmute yourself and say hello? You've already seen Dr. Annette Pham, immediate past president. Dr. Tuesday Cook, president-elect.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to our installation and the meeting.
Thank you, Tuesday. Dr. Angela Marshall.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so
Thank you, Dr.
proud of the group and happy to be a part of this great organization.
Dr. Marshall. Dr. Berger, Brent Berger, secretary.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and congratulations to Dr. Pham.
Dr. Aruna Nathan, treasurer. Not sure if she is. That's okay. We welcome her. Members of the executive board are scrolling on the screen now. I think that I may just, for time's sake, perhaps not name every single person on the board, but thank you so much. And I'm very much looking forward to working with the board. And by agreeing to serve on the executive board in 2021, you agreed to be dedicated to the mission of the society and to do what's in the best interests of the society and its members. Thank you. I'm looking forward to working with all of you this year. I'd like to say that following in Annette Pham's footsteps is a huge responsibility. I'm committed to the society and continuing her tradition of leadership as we address the challenges of the ongoing pandemic. One of the questions we will address at the first board meeting is when to meet in person again and how large the gathering should be. So to provide some insight to our board as you plan for the society's near future, I ask you to turn your attention to the two polling questions that are coming up on the screen. Okay, so you'll be answering, this question. So when will you feel comfortable meeting in person again? And the responses are just send me a time and place. Summer, let's find an outdoor space. Autumn, bring back the general membership meeting. Winter, for a holiday celebration, or ask me again when I have more data. Please go ahead and make your choice.
Do you have that poll?
I do. I'm watching the responses come in now. We've got a few stragglers here.
Okay, just let me know when to go to the next.
Okay, I'm going to end this now and we'll show it on the screen.
So it looks like, hang on, I have to see it here 1 second. So it looks like we have 36% saying just send me a time and place, 30% with summer, 21% autumn, winter, nobody wants a holiday celebration, and only 12% to ask again. So it looks like it's going to be maybe summer. Yeah, so, all right. So the next question is, what size should our first event be? And the responses are 10 to 15, 16 to 25, 26 to 35, or 36 to 50, or 50 plus. So please go ahead and answer this question. Perhaps everybody has already answered this question. So 10 to 15 only want, 3% only want 10 to 15, 24% 16 to 25, 15% 26 to 35, and 36 to 50, 18%. And let me scroll if I can't really see what's at the bottom there. Looks like 39% would like 50 plus. So wonderful. That's actually very good information for us. Thank you so much for participating in this poll. And we really do hope to see you in soon. So with this, the 118th installation of officers and annual meeting is now adjourned. And next we will convene the CME program.